Hey guys, welcome to my vlog.
Expressing care is a skill, and for a while I could not imagine being well trained in it. I remember being young and telling my friends that I would never get married, not because I couldn't, but because I didn't want to. I knew I was lying then, but as I grew older, it felt like my words were hardening into stone. Whether I was a foolish young girl speaking her fate into existence, or a prophet running her fingers through a story yet to be read, it seemed that I was most aware of my fears during my time of innocence. It isn't that I'm not capable of expressing love. It's the incredible discomfort that comes from speaking without 10 feet tall iron walls to separate myself from who sits in front of me. Honestly, whom I love does not necessarily have to be seated beside me, for even in my imagination, the image of speaking love into their ear makes me violently shiver. I think it is for this reason that I attracted friends who could not stay for very long. That, or we were all very young and incapable of committing to anything outside of our wild imagination. At least, that's all I've ever committed to. I wonder why some people end friendships with silence. Those are the breakups that would hurt me the most. No words to untie the knot between us, not even to whisper hatred or dismay. No shadow to watch as they make their way out of my world. Just an emptiness. A piece missing where it once fit. I used to go searching for the peace, but I think my heart grew weary. And now it feels that sitting with itself, caressing the love and pain behind each memory, would be much more meaningful than seeking the very thing which wished to leave. When I'm angry about such things, I remind myself that I can only love romantics anyway. Somebody romantic wouldn't silently leave me, would they? That's not very romantic to me anyway. Perhaps they would leave only to return to my front door with flowers and a prose. But in the end, it isn't about me at all, is it? I wish I could have seen the faces of those I loved for the last time before they shed their skin, off to live another life. I wish I could see how they were doing, but that's for them to know. I can only hold an image of what once was, and that might be enough for me. much I realized as I typed this out that I do care. Words that I would never speak to anyone directly. Well, maybe I will in some distant future, or maybe even tomorrow. Expressing care is hard when there are so many ways to do it and no one can agree on one solid thing. But it's nice to learn about how different people care. It opens my mind and forces me to take things less personally. Expressing care is hard when it is so much easier to be alone and present in my own solitude. I enjoy company, but lately I've found myself sometimes hating it. Perhaps I've been around the wrong crowd who do not care to see me fully. Or maybe I'm not open enough to letting them see me. Either way, I'm living between opposing forces, to venture onward into the arms of others or to stay within myself. I could do both, but I'm scared of it all, of making the wrong move, placing myself in a situation where I have to confront everything I hate about being in the wrong company. But I guess that would be a good thing. So much of my life has been spent ignoring others, neglecting situations that have caused me pain. I guess there's still so much unresolved anger that sleeps within me, causing me to believe that I wholeheartedly love my emotional distance, that I love being alone more than I love company. Though this is far from the truth, there is nothing I value more than holding hands with those I can share love with. For a while I struggled with understanding the saying, "It is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all." It is easy to guard myself, say no to my heart's desires. It keeps me protected. But cycle after cycle and lover after lover, I notice bits of me cracking, desiring to find value in the moments I share with someone who enjoys my company, just as much as I enjoy theirs. Sometimes I desire to laugh at my tendency that pushes me to chronically analyze their expressions. This analyzation is often meant to soothe the emptiness within me, the emptiness that seeks to find proof that they cannot live without me. But no one belongs to anybody, and as long as time passes, each moment will soon be a memory. I guess I always wanted more control over how much I can enjoy such things, and maybe it's okay to be a little naive, rather than to shoot up my walls. When I find myself loving the time I spend with somebody, they no longer become a vision or an image I wish to shape, because witnessing them, witnessing me, and witnessing us, it's like putting on a movie that sucks me in completely. Each new day has been a lesson, and I guess what I know now is that it's not about sabotaging how I love, morphing it into a way that limits my truest expression. I know now that rather than changing how I love, I must change who I allow myself to love fully, who I allow to give my heart to. This doesn't mean channeling hatred, anger, or coldness through my actions. Instead, it means that those I cannot love without grief are those who do not exist fully in my reality. The wall can go up as it must. Loving is sometimes easier from a distance. I learned that who I give my energy to channels into who I become. Giving energy means getting a certain energy back. It's an exchange, so I just have to be mindful. I know that in its truest form, my love is honest, pure, and extremely giving. It is the kind of love that led me to forgetting its power, all because it was not appreciated by cold hearts. It makes sense now that their negligence to my love had not been because of my wrongdoings. For of course, how could something grow colder from a warm hand, if not due to the story that they tell themselves about my warm hand? Their inability to accept my love I learned was not my fault, and it should not change who I am and how I love. I told my friend the other day that if you are a butterfly in a swarm of spiders, then it is no wonder why you feel so out of place. It does not mean that you should force yourself to be like a spider. Rather, find the spiders who can love you as the butterfly that you are, or find other butterflies. This is how I see intimacy, and the ability that it has to change us and our outlook on our behavior, our personality, and at a larger scale, the world as a whole. I love the world, I love people, I love everyone, for it is the energy that lives within me. Love is who I am, but when it comes to who I share space with, that must be carefully selected, for who I look at becomes my mirror, and I wish to be around mirrors who reflect my truest self the best.